David Johnston.
Much, Madam Deputy Speaker. There were things in this autumn statement that members on this side of the House would rather not have to do, not least as regards taxes. But we were always going to have to do some difficult things as a result of having spent over £400 billion protecting jobs and livelihoods during the pandemic, and as a result of Putin's invasion of Ukraine and the consequent impact on energy, food, our support for them, and so on. And as my honourable friend the Chancellor set out, it's absolutely right that we are tackling inflation, which, as other members on this side have said, hurts the poorest more. It's absolutely right that we don't leave this to our children and grandchildren to pay the bill for. And it's also absolutely right that we ensure in general that those with the broadest shoulders pay the most here. It's worth remembering when we talk about the record on the economy on this side of the House, because this hasn't been said very much today, that we've had near record low employment, the lowest employment in nearly 50 years, and for the first time on record had more jobs available than there were people to fill them. So as much as there were difficult things in this statement, there are also a series of things I welcome. My constituency is home to Harwell Campus, to Milton Park, where some of the best, most advanced science and technology goes on in this country. They're centres for investment for great companies all over the world. So what the government has set out in relation to research and development is very much welcome, the biggest increase in research and development spending in cash terms over a spending review period. My constituency is home to the Satellite Applications Catapult. So again, the increased funding for those 9 catapults that are all over the country is very much welcome. And of course I welcome the additional money for health and education, and particularly for education and for schools. And the IFS has said that this additional money will cover the expected increase in cost between now and 2024. Now that support for education is welcome, partly because my background was in working with schools and running charities for disadvantaged young people. But it's also very important because this is key to our future. We've talked about skills and the need to increase productivity and our knowledge base, and this is how we will do it. And as a broader point, not for today, but something I think we have to consider, I don't personally think that the balance between how much health spending has increased in recent decades and how much education spending has increased in recent decades is right, because the increase in health has far outstripped the amount that governments on both sides have given to education. Now, there are obviously understandable reasons for that. They're not the same thing, but I do think we have to think about that, because health and education are inextricably linked as it happens, and we should be having more go into education over time than what we have seen in recent decades. The other basket of measures that I really support are about protecting the most vulnerable and the lowest paid. The increase in the national living wage, taking us to £10.42 an hour, just shy of the £10.50 manifesto commitment that was made to increase the national living wage by 2024, is a very much needed pay boost for people at a time of difficult economic circumstances. I welcome the commitment made on triple lock, that the increase in the pension will be the biggest increase the basic state pension has ever had. And already in 2021, the basic state pension was at the highest rate in relation to earnings for 34 years, and now it will be even higher. And of course, I also welcome the uprating of benefits. Now, there are people outside this House who suggest that the people who are on benefits are all too lazy to work. And actually, if you look at the people who are on benefits, a lot of them are in work and can't get enough hours or can't get enough in wages from the job that they have. Some of them have children who are under 2 that they have to look after. Some of them are just severely disabled and are simply unable to work. Of course, if there are people who could work and are just refusing to, then we have to do something about that and make sure that they do so. And it is right that the government is conducting a review into the people who've left the labour market since the pandemic, because we do have to understand, given they were working, why they're not doing so now. And we know that part of that is about mental health, and let's get to the bottom of that and let's support those people into work. However, until we do that, the overwhelming majority of people on benefits are not at the moment able to increase their incomes, and so it's right that we support them with that uprating of benefits. But then we turn to the Labour Party. Now, this government has made a series of difficult decisions. What of the Labour Party? The last Labour leader to win a general election, Tony Blair, we talk about 12 years of this government being in power. It's 17 years since the Labour Party won a general election, and that was under Tony Blair. And Tony Blair was fond of quoting, it's not his words, but he was fond of quoting, "To govern is to choose." So what difficult choices is the Labour Party proposing are made as part of their plan? The government's made quite a number of them. Which ones does it want to make? It seems to be in favour of every spending commitment that we make on this side of the house, against every spending reduction, and against every tax increase unless it has the word windfall in front of it. If we went outside now and we stopped members of the public and we said, "What do you think about Labour's plan for the economy?" they would say, "What plan?" And
they don't know.
That's important, because while this government is making difficult decisions, some of them unpopular, some of them ones that members of the public won't like, the Labour Party isn't making any. It isn't making any. I listened to the shadow opposition spokesperson say that she wants to put VAT on private school fees, that's 1.7 billion. She wanted to end non-dom status, she said that was another 3 billion. And there'd be another 10 billion on the windfall tax. So we're looking at about 15 billion. The package we're talking about here is 55 billion. Where's the rest of the money coming from? Today's Labour Party, unlike Labour parties gone before, wants to govern without having to choose. And the British public will make their decision regarding what they think of that.